Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been watching some of my past videos, you've seen me install a 102 millimeter LS throttle body onto the Tundra, and I've also created a custom controller that would convert the VTA 2 signal into a form that's readable by the Tundra ECU and actually allow me to operate the LS throttle body without setting codes. I just bought a cheap Chinese throttle body from eBay for like $100 because I didn't want to go and dish out a whole bunch of money on a quality product if this was not actually going to work out. So fortunately, I was able to make it work. It did run pretty decent. I wasn't setting codes most of the time. But it did have a few fairly significant drivability issues. The idle was really high, and the truck was, revving at 1200 RPM when it was warmed up, and higher than that when it was cold. And it was also kind of surging and bogging. It just wasn't consistent. And then eventually, after a little while, that cheap throttle body started acting up. So it started fluttering when I would let off the throttle, and it wouldn't hold its position. So I'm gonna show you what that piece of junk started doing. Okay. Press it again. So obviously I couldn't keep driving the truck like that, so I just switched back to the RCF throttle body for the meanwhile, and I was looking at my options, and I found a company out of Qatar that has been working for the last number of months on developing their own product to control the LS throttle body. That company is called PerfectLambda. And you can find them and their product on Instagram at PerfectLambda, PerfectLambda. So get in touch with them if you're interested. They are selling the throttle body LS to Tundra signal converter for 410 USD is the current price, and they also have a very nice custom-made adapter that allows you to bolt the 90 millimeter LSTB onto either the Harrop or the Magnuson Supercharged, or even on the stock plastic intake. But I guess it's not really gonna do a whole lot on that one because you can't bore it out too much. So I ordered one of those for testing, and I've been patiently waiting for it for a while. All right, so the long-awaited package from Qatar has arrived. This is the PerfectLambda LS to 3URFE throttle body adapter. This plugs into the factory throttle body wiring harness. This plugs into the LS throttle body. This is a 90 millimeter GM adapter. It will not work with 102 mil, it's too small. But this will bolt up to your Harrop or TRD blower, and you can port it out to the blower snout and then use a GM 90 millimeter TB. I ended up ordering the 102 mil Nick Williams. This thing is freaking expensive, but with the problems I was having with the Chinese one, it wasn't gonna cut it. So PerfectLambda can program this controller for either the 90 millimeter GM or the 103 millimeter Nick Williams, which is this guy right here. Now we're gonna install it on the truck and see how the drivability is with it. Now press it all the way and hold it. So this is the Nick Williams with the PerfectLambda controller. It's gonna slowly open because it's figuring out the throttle position where the max open and close is. So now it's fully open. All right, let off and step on it again. Off. Working flawlessly, working really nice. So for this setup, I'll be using the same adapter that I made. It's 102 millimeter. The Nick Williams, the new one is 103, but it fits it pretty much perfectly. So we'll go with that and bolt it on. Well, there's the sexy looking Nick Williams throttle body on the Tundra. It's about 5-6 times the price of the Chinese one, but hopefully it works better. That's all that I care about. So there's my temporary hot air intake all installed, and the last step is to plug in this elegant little adapter and try to fire it up, see if it works as advertised. I'm actually pretty excited. New proper US made throttle body, PerfectLambda controller. Fire it up and see what happens. Okay, here goes nothing. Works. Awesome. Alright guys, I'm gonna head out and take this thing for a spin, and after I drive it for a little bit, I'll give you an update and let you know how this whole setup is performing. See you next time. Cheers.